Buckle up, it's the Insurance Dudes Podcast. If you're not doing this year, you might as well be, the timer's ticking. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. When COVID hit, our business grew 55%. And it's because people were sitting at home. They started searching for stuff. We had spent 18 months generating all this content. All of a sudden, they were finding it. They were reaching out to us because so a lot of these other insurance agencies, unfortunately, were struggling because, maybe they service the restaurant industry or whatever. Maybe they didn't do things online. So their lead activity drastically went off. When, we went from doing 30 to 50 quotes a month. Now, over the last 14 months, we've averaged about 120 quotes a month because of that. And so the big do's and don'ts, the one thing I'm learning now is, hey, don't give the same video to Facebook that you give to YouTube. Nobody wants to be second. So like when I take my video and I'll edit it, I'll move some things around. Maybe I put a teaser at the beginning for YouTube, but I don't put that teaser at the beginning for Facebook. Then I put those two things on differently. Or maybe I do take that video and upload it to YouTube, but maybe it's a video I upload to Facebook a week later. So they don't see it as me uploading it right away.
Love those tips. Keep going, my man. What
always carry this right here. Everybody's like, where do you get your content ideas? I said, well, for example, the other day I was on a call with an agent in Florida walking them through something when I'm getting ready to shoot a commercial flood video from a mill. As I walk around talking to him, I look down and there's this big hole and a busted pipe that the city just started working on. Take a picture of it and I'll use it as one of my content pieces on Instagram. And I'm getting ready to walk up to the building, shoot my video, and I see a thing of stairs. It's like, let me take a picture of these stairs. I don't know when I'm going to need it, but I know at some point I'm going to need that photo. The next week, Akira reaches out to me and says, hey, I don't know if you're aware or not, but the more steps you have leading up to your property, it could lower your flood insurance. Now I can go back to that photo, link it to the information they've given us, and put some new content out.
That's awesome. So now you're pretty much just trained that no matter what situation you're in, you got your phone, you're capturing it, and you can use it somewhere.
Yep. Drives my wife nuts.
But man, I mean, to your point, you're stacking, right? You're already doing some of this stuff anyways. You might as well just pull out the phone, and now you have multiple pieces of content that you're going to be putting out there and generating more business without having to do any extra work.
Yeah. All of my videos are actually shot on site. So to this date, through all 150, I have not shot a video in front of a green screen yet.
Wow. So cool. So for somebody that's
getting flood map updates. So for example, I get a copy of every single flood map update across the country and I shoot a video on it. I write a blog on it. I do a podcast on it. I mean, I've got 25 of those just in January. So what we do is we teach people, hey, here's what's happening to your community and here's the date that's happening. This is what you need to do before this date. If you've missed this date, this is what you need to do after this date. Here's how it could positively impact you. Here's how it could negatively impact you. Here's how you can fight the change.
So I have a good understanding of this, but for Jason's sake, because he may not be as well versed on flood, could you explain a little bit more about that, updating flood maps and how important it is?
Yeah, so FEMA comes in and does what's called a flood map change. It takes 3 to 5 years. And so they'll say, for example, San Francisco is getting the first flood map ever in February. And I joke with people, trying to get in San Francisco right now feels like the movie Iron Eagle, where he flies in and rescues his dad who's been shot down. I was like, if I could just get in San Francisco, shoot my content, get out within 12 to 24 hours, I'm good. But they're constantly doing these updates. The communities have to agree with FEMA on them. So what happens is when they do that, they place people into a high-risk flood zone. They take people out of a high-risk flood zone, or people that are in a high-risk zone may go to a higher-risk zone. So we get a copy of when they do that, and we start educating people before on what to do.
That is so cool.
How do they have time with all this stuff going on? Like, do you have to wear a mask in a flood zone? How does all that work?
Yeah,
we do right now.
Good.
The funny thing about this with Craig throwing me under the bus earlier with that, it's so funny. This is one subject that a lot of agents don't know much about, right? It's just, it just is. I mean, would you what have you seen out there in the field, my man?
Which man?
Well, I'll say that first of all, I would say 99% of agents probably don't, unless you're on the coast, don't understand flood insurance that much. I mean, even more, don't even understand what a flood map update is. For example, we had a customer in Iowa.
Like Mr. Jason.
This agent said, "Oh, I've been doing flood insurance for 20 years. Well, then why did you ever charge this customer $1,500? Because you didn't give them the newly mapped rate because the map just changed 2 months ago. Well, what's a newly mapped rate?
Yeah.
But honestly, it's situations like that we can show agents the value because now we look, you overcharge this customer, you've created an E&O issue. Or when the Oklahoma flooding hit, you know how many people said, hey, my agent told me I didn't need flood insurance? The moment you tell someone they're not in a flood zone, you're on the hook.
Right.
Everyone's in a flood zone. It's just a matter of how much water it takes to get to you.
Flooded with E&O.
Yeah. I mean, and with realtors and things like that, we even built on our site where they can go to our site now, which is connected to FEMA and tells them what flood zone it's in. We built the wording out on the site that actually explains what each color means.
You're flooded with answers.
My goal is that a question never goes unanswered and that people feel like we are reading their mind. As they ask the questions, we've already got the answers for it. And what I've discovered is that people want to work with a company that does that.
Do you find that people prefer to be flooded with videos or flooded with blogs?
Yeah, the videos is actually probably easier for them, quicker for them.
Yeah.
But when they're out there searching on their own, they seem to be reading the blogs more. But I will say this, and this is the biggest myth that people in the insurance world need to get over. The average age of the user who is viewing our YouTube videos that reaches out to us is 72 years old.
Boom.
What?
Yes.
What you say, Flood Guru?
Everyone's like, I got to go to the younger crowd. No, the older crowd is watching these. People go to YouTube for a reason. They want the answer to a problem. If you can be that solution, you'll do very well with it, as Nicholas Ayers says.
I am flooded with shock right now. I can't believe that's the average. Did you say the average?
That's the average age of the person we get off our YouTube.
Okay, so now, Mr. Agent out there that's thinking I don't want to do social media because it's only for the young snappers. Like, that is incredible. I did not see that coming, but it's true. I mean, everybody searches. Google owns YouTube. It is one of the largest search engines in the world, right? And everybody's using it. I mean, that's an incredible statistic.
What drives me nuts now is these business owners are like, with everything going on, I'm getting off Facebook, I'm getting off Google, I'm taking my business off of here because they think they're going to get back at someone. I said, look, you're just hurting yourself. You may not like it from a personal standpoint, but don't do it from a business standpoint. It can kill your business.
Right. That is crazy.
Mr. Jason is flooded with amazement.
I am. How many times do you hear flooded jokes?
Probably 100 times a day.
Yeah, because you're not even phased right now. You're just like,
I'm not, but I usually have a mask on, and I'm always walking around asking people, may I ask you a question? Just to give them a hard time.
I love it, man. I'm
actually working on ordering masks right now that says, what is your flood zone?
They'll be like, what? I'm flooded with curiosity about what that says on your mask.
I love it, man. Usually we ask this at the end, but I want to right now. You're talking about all these resources that you have on your website. What is that website so that they can have some context while listening?
It's floodinsuranceguru.com. Now, I will tell you, it's under construction a little bit, so it may be a little slow right now because we've got some people working on some things on the back end that are kind of updating it. I basically copied and pasted the site from a prior company I had that used it, and I've basically done everything with the website on my own to this point.
It wasn't Parler, was it?
No.
Okay.
And I just hired a web company that specializes in HubSpot, of kind of updating the call to actions, making sure it's mobile friendly and all this stuff, because I just didn't have time for it anymore.
Yeah.
Crazy. Give me some don'ts. Give me some don'ts in the content creation.
On the content creation, like we talked about, a little bit like Facebook and YouTube, don't just upload the same piece of content to 9 different places at once. At least, change it up. Hey, have it go out a couple hours difference here. And you don't want to do it all at once because some of those algorithms see that. They don't like that. But also, the same piece of content may not apply to the same audience on the same platform. Understand what platform you're putting on. Take that piece of content and adjust it to that. For example, with Instagram and Facebook. Have you ever put a Facebook image with text on Instagram? It looks all wacky, or the other way around, is because of the way they look at images. I mean, it's things like that you got to understand when you're posting these things.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I did an image dressed up as a woman about a month and a half ago that I'm still using to this day. And I was using it for disguised flood zones. But all of a sudden, I got all this engagement about being dressed up as Wendy.
Oh, was that the name you went by?
No, it was a red wig. So I was like, I feel like I'm going to Wendy's.
Oh. Have you brought that character back?
Not yet. I've got to pull the wig back for my daughter.
What are some do's? Okay, I'm getting into. I know now by this point in the conversation that I need to be doing some content creation. Mm-hmm. I'm picking some platforms. I'm thinking maybe, Instagram, Facebook, maybe some YouTubes, but that's got to figure out how to upload that.
You a do and a don't. Don't make it all about insurance or whatever your business is. Don't make it all about your business. We have picked up a massive audience in the last 18 months that has nothing to do with insurance. When COVID hit, I decided to buy a Blackstone grill. About 2 months after COVID hit, I decided to buy a Kamado Joe, which is like a big green egg. And so I started cooking. I started doing these videos. I ended up starting a cooking channel called Flood the Food, where I do these food reviews in these restaurants as I'm traveling and shooting my flood content. Then whatever I'm cooking that day, I'll do those as Facebook Live videos. I picked up an awesome referral partner that we've never had a conversation about flood insurance. He reaches out to me on one of my videos, starts asking me about Blackstone. I gave him some pointers about what to do to correct some things because we're an affiliate partner for both of them. And then he says, you know what? I'm going to let you handle all of my flood customers. And he sent us 15 referrals since then. Like I tell people, I want to build an emotional connection with our relationship with our referral partners. And I might do that through our cooking channel. I might do that through the camping channel I started called Not Your Everyday Camper because I bought a camper during COVID so I could travel and I record all of my screw-ups.
Dude,
I mean, I shot poop all over myself. It's like the movie RV. But what I've done now is I've recorded, hey, here's what to do in this situation. I'm reviewing these campgrounds while we're there. A lot of them are near water. A lot of them now require flood insurance. Now we're building a relationship with the campground owners, the restaurant owners, and it's bringing in a whole different level of business for us. Or even the referral partner, they reached out to me, said, man, you got to start cooking on that Blackstone. You're going to make me buy one. And then he says, oh, by the way, I got a $3 million flood risk for you.
Wow. So what you're telling me
is Trojan horse.
Yes. Use those things, those hobbies, all that stuff that you actually like, right? Use that stuff to build these relationships through social media, which actually nets you more business.
Yep.
Oh, so good. So good. I remember you hitting me up about the, cause you've seen pictures in my RV. I was like, where are you going with this? That's so cool though, man. I love hearing that. Like,
is your
genius.
Did you get a van or an RV?
I got a travel trailer.
Okay, cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I was supposed to take it out this weekend to North Georgia, but it's gonna be 21 on the weekend, so it's too cold for a 5-year-old.
Oh, that's gross.
And the pipes freeze and all that. Oh, it sucks.
No, like for example, I put antifreeze in there. I just bought a heated garden hose for the water for when we go in the wintertime. Like literally, when the month of June hits this year, we'll be on the road the whole month of June, probably on the West Coast, like Utah, Yellowstone, because we've got to shoot all of our content through Arizona and all that stuff. And I'm shooting it, I'm producing it. My team here is working on everything else because they understand that when I'm out, hey, he's not out on vacation just sitting on a beach somewhere. I mean, I'm working just as hard as they are, but the harder I work, the more business that comes in here, and they get rewarded because we have a unique program with them. We don't pay commissions at all. Yep. Instead, everybody who works for our team gets a part of agency revenue of all of our companies. So as all those companies grow, so does their paycheck.
That is awesome. Cool. I love that.
When you come out to Arizona, I'll come out to Arizona. We should get Preston, Nick, everybody, and we'll just all film ourselves from multiple angles.
We have to get Overstreet with the garden nerd.
With our business use RVs that we have.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my wife to let me haul it to Padre Island. So about 3 months ago, I do one of these trips every year. I mean, I travel like 1,000 miles in like 3 days to shoot content. Well, this year it was East Texas. So I was in Austin, I was in Wimberley, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, Galveston, and Houston in 48 hours. And Padre Island was one of the places I went out to. I just love it out there because it's so quiet. But there's a campground out there, and I'm trying to get her to haul the camper like 900 miles out there to stay.
That's so cool. Dude, that is incredible. I want to know one thing. If there was an agent out there that was wondering if they should do content creation, they should do social media, they don't know where to start, what would be the number one piece of advice that you would give that agent for 2021?
Data tracking. Know where your customers are coming from. Know where your information is coming from. I can go to HubSpot right now and tell you, hey, you know what? Your blog or your video on what is flood zone AE, the 80% of the readers are in New York. Let's go create another piece of that. Like I told one of my employees today that just started putting the data in. I said, look, the system's only as powerful as the data we put in, but it can be really powerful if we put the right data in there. Then we can go back and use that data to enhance the customer relationship and just make it incredible for them.
Love it. And I will say this, man, I remember watching your first videos and watching them now. Dude, you were, I mean, typical, right? Same with us, same with everybody. Yeah. You see the transformation of the personality. Yeah. I could see where you were much more reserved, and now you have so much personality. And I think that's one of the biggest roadblocks to people doing this. Oh, I feel weird doing it. But dude, just do it because you grow, you get better at it, right? And you're crushing it.
Oh, I need a fancy camera. I need to spend all this money. No, pick your phone up and start recording. Yep. People want to see somebody real. Don't go back and reshoot that video 50 times. People want to see you screw up. One of my best videos on YouTube is also one of my worst videos because I called it Des Moines instead of Des Moines. And all the local people that gave me a really hard time on YouTube. You're not even pronouncing the city right. But I got engagement through the roof on it on YouTube. People were commenting and all this stuff. But I mean, that's the other thing I've learned. If certain cities is actually learning how to announce them before I do the video and understanding that in the local areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use that. I'm telling you, this is the most powerful thing that you can have.
Yep.
Love it. Love it, my man. Thank you. Everybody needs to know a little bit more about Flood, and you're the man to give them that info. Again, where can they get a hold of the Flood Guru?
You can go to our website, floodinsuranceguru.com. You can check me out on LinkedIn, Facebook. You should be able to private message me now because I got my friends below 5,000. With everything going on Facebook now, it's kind of helped me a little bit.
Yes.
You can also, if you want to give me a call at my office, it's 205-451-4294. You can call my cell phone, 205-440-7910.
Can they send you pictures?
Absolutely. I have a lady right now that just sent me a picture of New York. Says, hey, I have these 9 cottages. I need flood insurance. Can you look at them and tell me what I'm looking at?
Wow.
So we've been looking at those all day today.
And, of course, you can text the dudes at 520-214-2219.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Chris. We're definitely going to have to do this regularly and check in with you because, the amount of stuff that you're doing is incredible, and just want to encourage you to keep it up because it's very encouraging to us and should be to most agents out there.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's exhausting. I won't lie to you.
Well, cool, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.